Hi, this is GED teacher Damon Tennant, and in this video, I am going to be telling you and helping you and kind of showing you how to work through a GED social studies question. You know, the GED social studies test back last year changed in that they dropped the extended response, which is the essay for the GED social studies test. So it did make it a tad bit easier, but there still is that element of being able to interpret through these questions well. So let's jump in. So here on the screen, we have a chart here. And if you've seen my videos before, you know I am big on understanding the information that's on the chart. So let's do that first. So this says GDP of large world economies. Now, on the GED test, they're going to expect that you know the definition of the word GDP, or at least its basic concept. It's gross domestic product. And so this is all the gross, the total value of its domestic product. And then on here, you'll see three different lines. You'll see a purple line, which up here we know is China. You'll see a blue line, which here is USA. And then you'll see a green line, which is Germany. Okay, then over here on this side, you're going to see this is the GDP in trillions of dollars. So when it says one down here is talking 1 trillion, probably 1.5, and then 2 trillion, about 2.5, and then going up to 3 trillion there. And then down here is the national GDP in years 2014, 2015, and 2016. Okay, so that is what's going on here. So then we know that China led the world in GDP in 2014. And then in 2015 here, the U.S. peaked a little bit above China. And then in 2016, Germany peaked a little bit above China and just a little bit behind the U.S. So you can see you're seeing some action happening on this chart. But again, I'm very big on understanding what's here so that when the question comes, you have some clue. Now let's jump into the question. So the question says, given the fact that the U.S. is the world's largest consumer market, what could you infer happened with German goods in 2016 solely by the data presented on this chart? So when you get that kind of question, you want to focus in on a couple things. Number one, you want to focus on the word solely, because they're telling you that you only can use this information to make your inference. And then they also say, given the fact that the U.S. is the world's largest consumer market, so it's giving you some information that the United States market is the largest market, the largest value of consumer purchasing consumer goods. Okay, so you want to hone in on those two words and also infer, which means draw a conclusion from. Okay, now, so we jump down here to the responses. Response A, Chinese markets decrease their appetites for German goods. So when you look at this chart and you see GDP and you see the years and you see the assumptions that the U.S. is the world's largest market and solely on the data here, there's really nothing here that would indicate or give you any reason to have a conclusion about that. So we know from the get-go that that's going to be a non-starter. Okay. Now we go to B. A key trade deal was signed between Germany and the U.S. Well, you know, so Germany did get closer to the U.S., and so you might think there's a key trade deal, and that might make sense. But again, solely on the data presented in this chart, there is nothing here about trade deals. So again, we'd have to X that one out. Then we come down here to C. Germany sold more of its goods in the U.S. market. Okay, so that is something that you could infer, because the U.S. is the biggest market. Before, Germany was below in terms of its sale or value of its gross domestic product. Then it goes up. You could infer that it did sell more into the largest market. So that's one that we want to hold on to. So I'm going to put a little circle there for right now. And then D. The Chinese markets turned its attentions to developing countries. Well, we know that there's nothing here on this chart saying anything about developing countries, so we wouldn't choose that one. So then we would come over here to this one here and say Germany sold more of his. That would be something that we could infer, not that we would necessarily know, but infer, because Germany did increase and it did get closer to the U.S., and the U.S. is the world's largest consumer market. So because of that, we have a basis to infer that C is what happened in this case. So again, on the GED test, you have to really review these charts. You have to really think through, just like I did. You have to really think through and work through these questions and really think about, what makes the most sense, because it does to a certain level come down to your ability to make sense out of this data that you're getting, and so that's what we've just shown and done. If you like this video, please click on a like. That way YouTube will know that this is a worthwhile video for other people to see, and will suggest it to other people. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, because you will get notifications if you have that set up in your YouTube account every time we post a new video. And then the final thing I want to let you know is I'm setting up, not quite there yet, but every Thursday we're going to be posting a new video, and it's going to be a broadcast class. And so it's going to be a little short class here that you can check in on, and it'll be a class that I've done before, but I'll be sharing it here on YouTube, and so you can be looking for that to come out as well. Again, this has been GED teacher Damon Tenen. If you're really ready to knock this thing out, go to my website, mygedlive.com, and get one of the products there that will take you step by step, just like I've shown you here, and help you to break this down so you can have GED success in 2017. Thank you.